We gotta get yourself a new one there, boy. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to blast full lead here with my double barrel 12 gauge shotgun. You know what I mean?
I'm fine if you shoot it at this point. Like, I broke off one of the keys the other night. The fucking thing just like shut off on me middle of the day today. Like, it's been weird. So maybe that's what's causing the headset issue. Because like I can hear you guys fine, but clearly communicating over is not working.
Why is it that shooting electronics is so much fun?
Because they're reactive, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I've ever shot is a TV, but we took like this like old 50-inch like box TV to the woods and like blasted it to pieces and then picked up like as much as we could and left. But yeah, dude, like that it's so much fucking fun.
Yeah, I had an iPhone a couple years ago that went out on me and pissed me off because I lost a lot of videos and pictures on it. So I took it out and threw it out in the yard and grabbed my shotgun and blew it to pieces.
There you go.
Sometimes a shotgun's the only gun you need, you know?
I have a question for you guys. Speaking of, like, with me moving, so I was looking at my my internet providers today. I have a choice of two. You think 300 MPS is fine for download?
300 megabytes per second?
Yeah.
What do I get? Hold on. Let's do a speed test. Because mine is great, and I pay like the minimum.
That's what I'm looking at, is like doing the minimum, which is for them it's 300.
Well, actually, there is one level that's below what I do, but for like $10 more, you know. So I guess it's the minimum plus. But I get 100 down, I believe, is what it is.
Oh, okay.
Which is fine. I mean, like, honestly, I have rarely ever had a problem with my internet at that level, you know.
Yeah, like I'm doing a test right now, and I just got 330. So like, I'm sorry.
Well, the other thing is like the ping rate, because if you can get like however much down or up or whatever, but if your ping sucks,
yeah,
then when you're having a conversation, you're always like a step behind what everyone else is saying, or when you're playing a video game, you're always like, "How did he shoot me in the head?" You know. I don't know.
I'm also getting 300 right now, running 2 laptops, my phone. I'm sure Heavy's streaming something, so like when I'm living by myself, that's not going to be the case. So I'm getting 330. I'm sorry right now. So yeah, because it's like $40 for 300, or it's $60 for 4, and I'm like, I'm sorry, $40 for 300, $60 for 400. So I'm like, yeah, I'm probably just gonna go to 300. I should be fine with that.
This is a pretty sick shotgun for the price that I paid for it, though, isn't it? It's got like scroll work and stuff on it.
It's very fancy.
The wood's really nice.
You got a good deal on that.
Oh yeah, you did. Considering when I was looking at it, it was double or triple that for one.
Well, I mean, it needed all kinds of work. Like the wood was scratched up and beat up and nasty. The barrel was rusty. Like the barrel had like you could see obviously where someone had grabbed it and then they just like put it away and like rust fingerprints were in the barrel and stuff. It had a big old dent up here, like past where I cut it off, but like the barrel was dented. Like it needed some work.
Who makes it?
Salve. I don't fucking know. Some guy from
Belgium.
Belgium.
The Belgian
guns. Dude, Belgium makes some good guns though, don't they?
Oh yeah.
They've got a rich gun history.
They were like the premier rifle and shotgun manufacturers for Europe for a long time. Well, like alongside with Germany and some English companies, but
Arnold says, "I'm glad we get to see that shotgun before it's Honda Smith." It's been Honda Smith.
Yeah, it actually looks good. He's definitely gotten better.
Well, there was the one gun that I did, and that was probably like, I don't know. That was like probably the learning gun that I had. You know, like, oh, let me try this. Well, I'll just use the Mosin. Oh, let me try that. I'll just use the Mosin. Well, I fucked it up. But that doesn't mean like every gun that I've had I've fucked up. It just, and then when I'm on YouTube and we're talking about stuff, I'm like, hey, check out this gun that I fucked up. You know, like, sorry.
Right.
You admit to it, and then everyone just thinks that you don't know how to do anything, which is funny.
Oh.
But yeah, that's post Honda gunsmithing. I'm sorry for being white. Says, can anyone hear me? No, because you're typing.
Chris, can we get a desk pop with that shotgun? I don't think you're in the best position to be doing a desk pop.
Yeah, that's how you get evicted from an apartment.
Yeah.
So I did want to talk a little bit about, I don't know, something different today. Like the history of the universe and like theories and thoughts about perhaps what's outside of the universe according to current scientific thoughts and methods and things like that, and different theories that are out there. Not that I have a complete list or anything like that, but I just have a few things that I wanted to talk about and then see where the conversation goes and call it a show. So hope everybody out there is doing good tonight. Super chats, as always, are not necessary, but welcome. And if you have a subject that you'd like to get to, I will try to get to the @eHonda420 chat. So, does anyone know, according to science, approximately how old the universe is? Like, how long has it been since the Big Bang?
According to them, what is it, like 70 million?
That was like 100 billion years or something.
13.7 billion years. And as a result of that, there's basically this thing, like a sphere around Earth that is visible universe. They call it the Hubble globe or some shit like that. Meaning it's like everything that Hubble can see. And that's approximately like 95 billion light years across. So that's the entire visible universe, according to science. That's all we'll ever be able to see. Because, like, I mean, it's ever expanding, but only at the rate of, you know, a little bit more than a light year per year. So it's not really expanding that quickly. So you consider that the universe itself is expanding faster than the speed of light, potentially. Is it just more universe outside of that globe? You know, like, or is it like we're kind of towards the center of this Big Bang and maybe like there's some edges that we can't see and outside of that it's nothing? Or is it we're just like one bubble in like a bathtub full of bubbles and each bubble is a different universe created by the Big Bang?
Yeah,
or is it, I mean, there's the black hole theory, wherein each black hole, once it gets to a critical mass, creates a Big Bang in a universe of its own. And that's what our universe was, and that's how it was created, was just a black hole in a different universe up the chain. Or the multi-universe theory, where they're all stacked upon each other, and there's like one version of reality where you made eggs for breakfast, and another where you made, you know, a sandwich, and another where you robbed a bank. But it's all you, because there's so many different versions that every decision that you could possibly make through your entire life has already been made and played out in some manner or fashion.
Kind of like that movie, the one with Jet Li.
Or Sliders. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
KY Ryder says, have you heard of string theory? That's the one that I'm not, I mean, I've heard of it. I'm vaguely familiar with it, but I don't really know enough to explain it, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult when you're talking about something where you're stretching your knowledge to the point where you're talking about technical things that you don't really know about. Like, I don't want to do that any more than I have to. And string theory is definitely one of those where I would need someone that knows more about it to talk, so I could ask questions and shit. But I don't know. Gun Library Garrett says, send Neil deGrasse Tyson a quick email and have him on. I'll try. Be nice. I wonder how much he pays for an appearance.
Oh, I bet it's... Well, let's look it up. Let's see if the internet knows.
If we raise enough money in super chats. If not, then it just goes to me. I'm sorry. It would be nice to have someone like I had. I was talking to Jesus Christ. I'm still fucking tired. Like I didn't get enough sleep last night, so my brain isn't working quite the way it should. Still, however, I was talking to that senator lady, McKinley, is her name. Is her last name, and she hasn't got back to me yet. So that might not happen. I guess I don't know. Maybe she's too busy.
So Neil deGrasse Tyson charges between, from what I'm seeing, between $1,000 to $1,500 per minute for speaking engagement.
Holy shit! Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get him on there unless
Probably
a bunch of people start doing $50 super chats for a shot.
Maybe we could get him on for 1 minute. Barely get through an introduction, and then he'll say something, and be like, "Oh, time's up." So there's another theory out there that's actually kind of interesting, and it has to do with the relative manner in which the bulk of the matter in the universe has organized itself. And you find that there's regions where there's relatively little bits of matter, and areas where there's like galaxies and galaxies all clustered together. And they think that the reason for that is that outside the sphere of visible light that we can see, there's massive structures of the universe that have effects on the universe that we can see, but we don't know why, because we can't see it. And that could be anything from like super massive giant group of galaxies to God's laboratory. You know what I mean? Like, who knows what the fuck's outside of it?
There's still so much about space and everything that we do not know about and probably won't know about for a very long time. It's just so massive. But have you heard that theory that in 2012, when the world was supposed to end because of the Mayan calendar, that it slipped us into an alternate reality, and that's a lot of people have the Mandela effect on certain things.
Yeah, and I've actually experienced I couldn't exactly point to it at this point in my life, but I've just like had that feeling, like, I don't know. There might be something to that. Who knows? And there's this whole thought that if you are making a decision whether to go left or right, and there's like a particular molecule that you're interacting with right then that's connected to a molecule in a different universe, that perhaps there's a person in that other universe who's interacting with that molecule who's making the opposite decision. And hence you're creating another universe by making that decision. And every time, like, that's a crazy theory. I don't think that that's necessarily true, but I don't know. Like, maybe it is. Stephen Carroll says, what gets me is what is between galaxies and what encompasses all of them. I was always told it's just universe, but there has to be more. It's the Force. It penetrates us and binds the universe together. Especially penetrates. I mean, there's
something like that show, The Expanse. You ever seen that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how they went through that black hole and then there was just that much more of a galaxy they never knew of before. all the different worlds and stuff they kept finding.
Well, there's also 11 dimensions of space and time that we interact with all of the time, but we only perceive 4 of them. Because you perceive back, forth, left, right, up, down, right? Like spatial movement,
Mm-hmm.
and then time being the 4th dimension. But I don't know. I was watching a show on it earlier today. They were talking about that specific thing, and they were talking about, like, okay, what's the 5th dimension then? And like 4th dimension to us, it's like, imagine you're looking at a rope going across a river. You know, like they're building a bridge and they've got a rope going across the river.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of see it as a pretty much straight line. Maybe there's a bit of an arc to it, but it looks like a solid rope from far away, just like a line. But if you were a ant crawling on that rope, you'd see the little intricate, you know, like the way that it's woven together and the ridges and humps as you're walking along. You'd have a completely different perception of that. And that's basically what they're talking about. The other, dude, this is stretching my fucking knowledge so far. Like the other dimensions of space and time are microscopic. Like, I forget what the word is. Whatever. Yeah, like it's hard to fucking explain. I'll stop.
Man, I know what you're getting at, though. But I mean, who knows?
Sometimes I wish Matt was here because then he'd be like, "Well, actually, blah 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 blah." Scientists call it the great attractor. Like, yeah, there's like dark energy ley lines or something going on that makes clumps of galaxies in the universe that we can see not evenly distributed. And the reason for that is unknown to us. And they theorize that there is something outside of the universe that we can see that's affecting what we can see, making that happen. Okay, how about this one? The universe is infinite. Therefore, because of that infinite number of stars and space, there is, in that infinity, another planet exactly like Earth, where there's a person exactly like you doing exactly what you're doing right now. Boom. I don't know if I believe that one either.
No.
Because even with infinity, there's so many variables to get to exactly me, exactly now, that I just don't think you could possibly. Maybe a lot like me at some point, I would believe. Exactly like me, exactly right now? No.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that it's the exact same.
Yeah, like down to your name and your father's name is the same father's name, and you know the same like history with like one minor difference, maybe, you know, kind of thing.
You ever seen that? Oh, what's it called? Midnight Something with Michael Shannon in it. Basically, where there was like another world within our world, but you couldn't see it unless they opened it up so you can see it. And there was a boy that came from there and that they adopted, and he started having, I don't know, some kind of abilities, and they had to take him back to his people. Do you believe anything like that? That there could be basically another world within ours that we just can't see through some kind of parallel?
I forget the name of the book. It was like a short story I read when I was a kid about basically that, and it was ambiguous as to what the other land was, whether it was like an alien who came to like a more primitive culture, or someone from the future, or a different universe, or whatever it was. But this kid accidentally fell through a portal in the book or something and ended up in our world, but like in the past. And everyone was amazed because he had like shoes that were made of this material that didn't, like, it was like way more durable than any wool or cotton or anything that anyone had. And like, I don't know, like there were certain things about him. They knew that he wasn't from their culture, and he had some sort of amnesia and couldn't really explain it either. And then through the book, like he eventually started to remember things and then had to find his way back to his people. It was a good book. I don't remember the name of it.
Tupperware. It's Midnight Special. I guess he looked it up. That's the movie I was referring to with Michael Shannon.
Hey, man, guy.
Penis.
Never enough ammo.
Well, hello, boys. How do you do?
Sorry, I'm late. I was running errands with my grandma.
Man, fuck your grandma. No, I'm just kidding.
She's like a saint, man. Like, my only goal for the apocalypse is to keep people from fucking with my grandma.
Murder the planet to save your grandmother.
I will 100%. No one fucks with Gam Gam.
Okay, so we're talking about parallel universes, alternate Earth theories, origins of the galaxy, what's outside of the galaxy. We're talking about all kinds of cool stuff.
I've been getting into Tibetan Buddhist like teachings and stuff, and some of that's fascinating. It's like there's a million spirits and they all come to this place from some other dimension or some shit. I don't fully understand it, but it's like it kind of lines up with some of the shit you're talking about, I think.
If there were an infinite number of planets because of the infinites of space, do you think that there's a planet with you doing exactly what you're doing right now on it somewhere else?
Yes, no. But he's like blue and has 3 eyes and like a 10-inch dick.
MSB 9021 says, well, if there is a parallel me somewhere, I hope like hell he chose the right woman there.
Probably not.
It's slim to none. Slim to none. At least if that were me. Like, it seems like I always pick wrong.
Well, I mean, if you believe in the like infinite universes theory, there's a version that picked the right woman. There's a version who picked the exact same woman that you picked that was wrong, except for in that version she wasn't wrong, she was right. There's a version where you were the asshole. Like,
honestly, like, I have 0 regrets about my last relationship other than that it's over. But she wasn't right for me. It's good that she wanted to move on. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, those were...
Walk away for 5 minutes and we change topics already? God damn it.
Those were dark days. Dark days indeed.
She's too cute to kick out of bed, but like so much of a pain in the ass to keep around that you wonder before that.
Stephen Carroll.
I like this one. This is a good one.
Stephen Carroll dropped in $5 and said, somewhere billions of light years away, E. Rhonda is annoyed that E. Honda has more Twitter followers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she is very annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
As she should be.
And in that universe, E. Honda is the meme
if all
that
you
was
people,
made to annoy the real E. Rhonda.
If all you people really want to make us happy, go on Twitter and follow E. Rhonda 420.
Fucking hate you.
I still think it's hilarious that you like took your kids camping for like one Sunday or some shit, and Matt and I'm going with that.
So the 2 theories that I like the most about what's outside of the universe, fuck you, are... So I really like the God's fucking laboratory theory because of like the unseen ley lines of energy that run through the fucking galaxy and make fucking galaxies clumped together inside of the universe, rather, maybe it's God's like fucking his observatory and his like laboratory that he has the whole thing in, that he can, it's like in the corner of heaven or some shit out there, right? Like I kind of like that idea. Idea.
I think it's like, StarCraft, but for God. We're all like the little villager people building buildings and shit. Whatever they are in StarCraft. When I play Age of Empires.
Well, think about it. Like, we have control of our bodies. We can move up, down, left, right, back, forward, right? So we have the ability to move things around and do things in physical reality. But we don't have control of time. Time marches forward. We have no control over it. What if there were a technology or a being that had control over all of the forces, not just up, down, left, right, or not forces, but dimensions,
Wouldn't that just be from the Loki series, the Time Management Bureau or whatever? Be like them?
Well, that would suck if that's what it is.
It would. Go to time prison, bitch.
It's like the what are those things from Rick and Morty?
Testicle monsters? Yeah. You stole crystals from testicle monsters? It was a long day.
Oh, fuck you, Matt.
What? What happened?
Fuck you.
Why? What happened?
You don't talk.
I don't know. What happened?
I don't know.
What has conspired?
I'm unaware.
Something
I don't know what happened.
A doings is transpiring, you say?
What?
Do you?
Pshaw.
Pshaw.
My cat is biting open an Amazon box. That's impressive. Go.
My dog used to eat all of my electronics when he was mad at me.
Like, I just took this off the porch and, like, set it down on the floor and started talking to you guys. And, like, he's pulling the tape off on the top like he's trying to open the package.
He would get mad at me when I had to work.
My dog just shits on the floor.
Not everyone can train their cat to open Amazon boxes. I'm just saying.
And he would go into the refrigerator because he figured out how to open the refrigerator door.
Yeah, we used to have one of those too.
And he'd grab food out of the refrigerator and hide it for later so that he knew where it was, but I didn't, right? So I'd be like cleaning up like a week later, like, oh, there's a blanket on the floor. There's some clothes on the floor in the closet or whatever. Let me grab those. And like pieces of chicken would fall out.
There's like a ham under your bed.
Like, you fucker. I love that dog.
It was a Ron White joke that was, yeah, he's a great guard dog unless you have ham.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I really do love that dog though, because he was just a nice dog, and he was really smart. And then I had to get rid of him because he would make so much noise when I was gone because he missed me and he had separation anxiety and shit. So the fucking neighbors would start calling the apartment complex or whatever. And Jesus, dude, that's some loud typing. Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna get evicted if I didn't get rid of him. Is the point?
That sucks. Matt, is that you?
No, of course not. That's not that I have a really loud fucking keyboard or anything.
I'm gonna have to get a mechanical keyboard just for your chats, Matt. I think
I'm trying to type softly too.
I'll have to go trade with my son because he's got one. I'll just give him my keyboard for a chat.
Be like, I need to borrow this for a night, son.
Yeah. Sorry, there's something I got to do.
Sorry that you can't play your games with your clicky keyboard.
So what do you guys think is outside of the visible universe? Is there any theory that you perhaps have a feeling about or whatever?
So you've seen the episode of Rick and Morty where they do Morty's mind blowers and they like get sent to some like zoo and they do the contact thing to get out? What if like our planet is an exhibit in an alien zoo.
Okay, that's a what if. I asked what you actually think, though. You actually think that's what's going on? Is that we're in a zoo?
I actually think like it's just some like unknowing force outside of our physical existence that is, maybe like we're its children or something like that, and it sends us here to try to make it more like it. Maybe like that's kind of what I think's going on.
I was kind of thinking like, okay, again, Rick and Morty. You know that episode where they go to like the Dave and Buster's like thing in space?
Yeah.
And they play Roy, I think is the name of the
Yes.
game.
I wonder about that every fucking day, man.
And then like you die and you just wake up like, oh, 72 years. You suck.
Yeah, Honda, you and I are gonna wake up someday, like next to each other in different bodies, going, "Man, that was a strong hit." We're ripping on space bongs. I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
Yeah. So what's going on, Matt?
Not much.
I always kind of thought that like if there's like a heaven or something like that, it's not a place you go to. Like I'm more of a reincarnation person, I guess, when it comes to that.
Well, there are a lot of people out there that say that the light that you see at the end of the tunnel is actually you being reborn, and when you are born, you're crying because you're remembering your past life that you lost and all the people you left behind.
That makes sense. So that light at the end of the tunnel is a vagina?
Basically, yeah. You coming out and being born, and it's the light at, in the hospital.
That would explain many of the men I've known in my life. They're always chasing after that light.
Eduardo Espinoza said Matt is E. Honda's therapist.
No, I think we're all each other's therapist.
Oh, yes, this is definitely group therapy.
Mm-hmm.
It became that during COVID, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, except for Matt doesn't talk to me anymore.
Oh, fuck off.
He would rather click keyboards at you.
He just clicks his keyboards and sits there and
Or tortures you with ass. And
doesn't
Ass and titties. Ass and titties.
mutes himself when it's his turn to talk, that kind of thing.
When is it my turn to talk?
All the time, Matt. Every time.
I know being on these chats lately, they've been helping me, so
Always your turn
having
to
a
talk.
good time.
Uh-huh.
Matt, what do you think is outside?
Hey, it was your turn to talk right then, and all you said was uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What do you think is outside the universe, Matt?
I don't know. Maybe I've just read too many comics. I'm perfectly comfortable believing that it is like, Marvel comics, and
I
there's
hope it's
like
the Watcher.
fucking Galactus out there that survived the last universe to fucking, be there when this universe was born or some shit. Like, I don't fucking know. I mean,
I hope
I'm
it's
open
the
to just
Watcher.
about anything, even open to the point of it's just literally fucking nothing, and I and it's just, the only thing I do that I absolutely do not believe is that we are alone.
Oh, yeah.
I do not believe we are alone. Whether that's greater powers or aliens or whatever the fuck it is, I don't know. But I do not believe we are alone in this universe.
What about the Men in Black? Was the Men in Black 2 where they had the marble bag of universes? Or was it the first one?
I don't remember if that was the first or second one.
Anyway, either way, what if it's like we're a marble in some alien's bag?
Yeah. Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah.
I always like the idea that like it was a cycle, like Big Bang, expansion, contraction, everything comes back together again. But like that's been disproven.
Well, like some things are a cycle. We're entering into another like cycle of world wars or some shit like that. So like it would make sense.
Nothing to do with what we're talking about tonight.
No, what I'm saying is you see cycles present in nature and Earth and everything, even in what we do. So maybe there is a cycle to the universe.
Sorry, I'm specifically not talking about that shit tonight.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, it's fine, but I don't want the conversation to end up there.
I didn't mean to take it there. Like I was just mentioning.
No, you're fine. There's a lot of crap going on though. So
Actually, we may be on Night Strike's taint. Like that's
Oh God.
that was kind of like the Guar theory of the creation of the universe.
a violent shit.
Yeah, he just took a big dump, and hence the universe was born. That was the big thing. Was a a poop, a big poop.
Yeah, the hangover black diarrhea.
That sounds terrible.
It's from South Park. You remember that?
Hangover black diarrhea.
Yeah. Cartman had a business where he painted everything in shit. And he's like, some hangover black would be good in the lobby.
Wow. That's amazing.
The more you know.
Yeah.
Well, it is weird to think that every atom around you that's not hydrogen was by necessity at the center of a star at some point.
That's funny, yeah. We are made of stardust.
That blew up and spread its fucking dust everywhere. I mean, hydrogen most likely was in a star, but not necessarily. Anything else necessarily had to be created inside of a star.
So, like, stars are giant fusion generators, so all they're doing is turning hydrogen into other shit, right?
Wait, what?
Stars are gigantic fusion generators, and they're making other elements out of hydrogen. That's what a star does to create energy,
So
Right.
we're just star poop.
basically.
Poo poo. Poo poo kachoo.
If I remember right, all of the stuff that the star makes kind of gets condensed into a core at the center of the star until it supernovas, and that's what spreads that shit across the universe. So it's not just that you were in a star. You were in a star that blew up probably billions of years ago. The more you
I wonder how, like, okay, so Earth is kind of like a mixture of just about every. We got most elements on Earth, right? There's got to be something we don't have, I'm sure, but
it would
we've
be
got a good
interesting.
mix.
It would be interesting to see the stuff that like is on an alien planet, and if it's all identical or if they have totally different shit from us.
Yeah, like they just happen to get like a fuck ton of gold.
Yeah, everything's made of gold and lithium.
So there's just like gold-based life forms that eat gold, and like plants that like need gold in their in their soil or whatever.
Well, let's hope the U.S. government never finds out about them.
It'd be interesting to see if there was someplace where there was non-carbon based life forms.
Yeah, what it looked like.
Yeah.
What would be the most it would be silicone, right? Would be the most likely.
I think that's the next most common. Yeah.
There's a lot of theories about silicone-based life, but I don't think we've ever found any. But like,
Well, here's a thought too, though. Like, just because life that we know it is water and carbon based, necessarily means that it has like a certain temperature range that it has to exist in. However, different medium would be a liquid at a different temperature, and if it was an environment where there was liquid of whatever that is, like liquid salt or something, right? Potentially, couldn't there be a life form that used that liquid instead of water to do things? You know, like chemically.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
yeah, I think the possibilities are actually like infinite. You know, like we have this like crazy definition of what life is or whatever. And again, if you listen to the Buddhists, like they think there are like fire people living on the sun and shit. So who fucking knows?
There could be. That's what I'm saying. Like there could be like plasma life forms that exist in a certain troposphere layer of the sun's surface or something like that.
Yeah, 100%.
And it could be anything from a simple organism to like intelligent beings that have like, you know, intent and plans.
Well, that goes into stuff that we've talked about before, where we've talked about like, not necessarily interdimensional creatures, but maybe creatures that are just, life, intelligence that lives on another plane of existence that we can't see.
Well, like the Skinwalker Ranch thing, I 100% believe is an interdimensional like demon or spirit of some sort. Like I don't want to use those words, but like it acts like one. It shape shifts. It turns into giant white dogs. It can't be killed. It fucking takes cows for unknown purposes. Weird. Like everything I've ever seen about that made me think that's an interdimensional being.
If an alien came into your house, would you blast him?
I would wait to see what he said.
I don't know. It depends. I'm like, if it comes in looking like Baby Yoda, probably not. If it comes in looking like a fucking xenomorph,
If it looks like a xenomorph, it's getting aced.
Which is hilarious because, like, for all you know, the Baby Yoda one is actually there to eat you or something and has the ability to do so. And the xenomorph
He doesn't
is
give
like,
he's
like, hey, do you guys got water? Like, can I borrow some? Like,
yeah.
The Baby Yoda eats everything in reality. Like,
it's just like a nerdy, nice, like fucking xenomorph who's just broke down the street, needs some help.
See, that would be why I'd at least like be slow on the draw, no matter what, because you never know it's a costume.
Yeah. Now, if a predator walks into my house, then it's going to be like, huh, perhaps today is a good day to die. Or a Yautja, I believe, is their proper nomenclature.
Okay, what about like one of those like smooth skin, almond eyed, fucking big headed,
like the Greys?
aliens?
I'm putting those motherfuckers down.
I like Thor from Stargate.
Yeah.
No, they're creepy.
Do you think that Stargate is actually U.S. government propaganda to cover up their Stargate program?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
I want it to be true. I want there to be some Stargate in Egypt, Matt. Why can't there be one?
I want there to be a real Jurassic Park, too, but I'm not getting my wish.
Well, actually, you are getting your wish. It's just only going to be from the Ice Age animals, and it's in China.
What's the theory about the Large Hadron Collider and creating a different reality or some shit like that? Isn't there?
Yeah, there was something about when they turned it on. We've now been living in a completely different reality from the minute they turned it on, which was what, back in 2012 or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I think so.
How would you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's some weird rando theory that floats around out there.
Everything has gotten really strange since 2012.
It has. And wouldn't that be the Mandela effect type thing, though? Where you remember different things, but it's not the same.
Bernstein Bears.
Berenstein Bears.
Is it Berenstein?
Yes.
It was Berenstein Bears.
Yep, it's Berenstein.
Or the Statue of Liberty being on Liberty Island, not Ellis.
I remember being Bernstein Bears. But maybe it's just the way they pronounced it and I didn't look close.
Is the base that the Statue of Liberty's on, is that an old star fort? Or was that something they built?
I don't know.
Because it looks like it could have been like a 1700s fort or some shit, you know?
Do you think they've got a base on the dark side of the moon that you never see?
Oh, that'd be so cool.
Well,
because there'd be no way, like literally, you cannot see it from Earth.
My grandfather thought there was, but he was also kind of crazy, so.
Well, then there's people who've used, like, I don't know, high power fucking infrared scopes to look at the moon at night, and they see, like, weird shit flying around to the other side of it.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
It's the Argentinians.
I'm just saying, like, I have seen those videos, and it didn't seem like it was faked. I don't know. I didn't confirm it. I didn't talk to the guy. I didn't fucking get some experts to look at the video, but just looking at it, it didn't look like it was fake. Like, it looked like a genuine video. The reactions from the people watching it who shot the video seemed genuine to what was going on the screen. It would be hard to fake that kind of thing. So it just seemed like it was genuine.
Well, they never played it on the news because the guy that filmed it was a waiter.
Yeah, you get that sometimes. It's basically 2023's version of being like an excited Southerner. It's what we thought about all the people in Oklahoma back in the day. Now it's just waiters.
Well, servers in general. Hospitality staff.
Dude, it's been...
Hospitality specialists.
I don't even want to talk about this shit anymore. God damn it, dude.
Been that bad of a week?
Yesterday was just... one of the worst days I've had in a while where no one died, you know?
That sucks.
It's all good. It's fine. Shit happens, man.
You get no respect.
No respect at all. No regard.
No respect, I tell ya.
No respect.
Calhoun Republic says, I'm with Ray Ray. Stargate was just a disinformation campaign.
I seriously wonder that some days, although the broom closet marked Stargate Command Cheyenne Mountain probably points to it's not.
Brian Knight says he just finished 1883.
Oh, such a good show.
I
Such a
haven't
good
watched
show.
any of that or Yellowstone.
Yeah, I haven't watched either one of
Are they
those
bringing
yet.
back cowboy fucking action movies again? Is that a thing
Well,
now?
I don't
I
know.
think everything goes in cycles, like we were talking about again, and now we've gone through all the superhero stuff, and like we are primed for people to remember that cowboys are cool. I'm hoping that's where this is going.
Well, especially like because like with Yellowstone, like it's all modern day, but it is very much a western, but it's very very modern, you know, and it's
like,
so fucking good. It's
I
such
think
a
a
good
lot
show.
of people don't realize that the
Okay,
West
fantastic.
never ended. It just kind of morphed into what we have now slowly, right? Like the 1920s was still kind of like an extension of the Wild West in a way, like Bonnie and Clyde and all those people roaming the country in motorized cars, but gunning people down. And now we have like the cartel and shit doing similar stuff. Like it's the same stories, you know.
Neil drops in $2. Said, did you see Mars rover picture of the drill bit it dropped?
No.
I did not. I'm trying to find it right now.
Because you know you would totally make detachable drill bits on the Mars rover.
Well, I mean, your Snap-on guy has to upsell you somehow.
Yeah, I guess. Like, hey,
It's just the
detachable,
rovers.
and then we have a robot that will change it, and you can have 800 bits on board. There's just drill bits all over Mars now that are burnt out.
No, I think the implication there is that it found something that was like obviously intelligently designed or whatever, or made by the hands of somebody. And they were like, oh no, it's just the drill bit that we dropped. I don't know. I don't know if that's what he's saying.
That's what I thought he was saying too. I don't know.
I
You
can't
find
seem to
something
find
in
it.
like a suit, and it just all you see is a little SpaceX logo on it before the Mars rover gets crushed.
Watch Elon Musk drive up in a spacesuit and pick up the rover and drive off.
Yep.
That would be hilarious, really.
This dude was hanging out in Brownsville for the last couple days.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was. We were looking at videos of that or whatever.
Yeah, he went to. They invited him. So the city of Brownsville does Charo Days every year, which my daughters have actually been in the Charo Days parade. And yeah, he was invited to the Charo Days parade this year, and he went.
That's cool. Like, it's cool that he's going to that area of Texas to build his shit because there's really not much down there.
Makes me want to move to South Texas. Maybe Elon Musk needs a waiter.
Hey man, I bet you fucking make bank being his fucking waiter.
Oh shit!
I'd fucking yeah.
I wonder if he needs a
I would do it.
hooker/blacksmith.
Or
hooker
just down
smith.
there where he's at in general, you'll probably make bank being anything because that it's exploding down there.
Yeah, man.
What's your Old West profession, Matt?
Fuck if I know. I don't know.
I'm saying I'm a cookie. I'll just cook people food.
Gotta be a cowboy. What the fuck?
And that's overplayed though. Like I feel like everyone's gonna go for that answer. So you gotta be something a little different.
Badass cowboy?
Naked
River. I'll be the one that takes people to the train station.
I'd probably
drop
get
the
a
Discord.
or something.
Okay, let me look in Discord. Hold on. Boop-a-doo. So it found that thing, and it's like, oh, it's my drill bit that I dropped. But people are saying that that's not its drill
You're
bit.
not sharing your screen.
Oh, well, that would help. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
That's a drill bit?
That looks like the fucking pod that they landed on Tatooine on.
It looks
At the
like
beginning of Star Wars.
It looks like
fucking R2D2 and C3PO are just out of frame.
They come around a hill.
it looks
It's hard.
like
It's hard to
Lord
see
Archer.
how big that is, right? Because like, is this rock like a pebble, or is that a boulder? You know what I mean?
it looks like a pebble to me, just based on the other stuff in the photo, but it's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah,
That
there's
almost looks
nothing.
like an
There's no sense
attachment
of
that we used
scale.
in the oil field.
What?
I said that looks like an attachment that I used to use in the oil field to connect pipes.
Be careful. They're gonna have to call you to get on this the spaceship that's on the way to an asteroid that's headed towards us. And you're gonna have to use your oil drilling skills to get to the center of it and blow it up from the inside.
What if
I have never missed a depth.
what if you're drilling on Mars and hit giants that can only be killed by bullets as long as they're covered in copper, Honda?
It's true.
Josh Taylor says Elon would only hire a waiter with a college degree. Does an associate's degree count? Booyah.
Yeah.
I'm in. In, baby.
He's used to announcing it.
My job would be town drunk or crazy gold miner, says Super Bad Videos.
See, I think this would be fun. Like, once all
Fuck
this
you.
collapses, it'll be like the Old West again in America, right? So we'll have to pick new professions, like shoeing horses and, you know.
Well, here's the thing. The only way that things totally collapse here, right? Like, well, let's talk it from the point of view of war, right? Because that's what everybody's talking about right now. The only way it collapses from here is if nuclear war happens, right?
I bet cyber attack. It wouldn't be a total collapse, but it'd be pretty damn bad.
It'd be bad for a little while, but it would eventually come back up. But nuclear war, that's a different level. That would knock us back into the fucking,
Stone Age.
Yeah. Because other than that, we are so isolated. You know what I mean? We're the most isolated landmass. Like, Russia
Honestly,
ain't invading us.
I think that's the real issue with the world right now is they don't realize that pretty much the United States could almost invade any country on Earth, and they maybe if Russia, China, and the entire NATO forces tried, they could invade us. But
it would take a lot
for the world.
It would take a lot, yeah, because we are so geographically isolated,
and we have like the largest military on the planet by like 1 million times over or some shit. Well, not the most expensive, I guess. China has all those like bodies.
I hate to see this shit, but what do you do if you see it? Like in reality, are you gonna like
punch somebody in the fucking head,
like fight these dudes?
I think,
man, you walk up. These motherfuckers ain't paying attention. You walk up behind and just pop them in the side of the head. Dude's going down.
No.
Like, oops.
Oh, I slipped.
Oops.
Honestly, I think if they can steal shit, then you can commit assault. I would hit them.
Yeah, exactly. If you can steal thousands of dollars worth of shit, then I can pop you upside the head.
That and like this would be real handy to have one of those miniature like trucker baseball bats. Just walk
tire
up.
thumpers, yeah.
Senor Guns and Barbecue.
How's it going?
Hola.
Como estas?
Bien.
They do.
Just dead.
Sorry, I am still fucking out. Like this week, my brain no worky goody anymore.
Como estas.
Does that ever happen to you where you just like you get so stressed out too many days in a row and you're like behind on sleep and beat up and shitty and your brain's just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna remember things right now. Yep. Oh, you want to remember that name? Too bad. Sorry. I know you were mid-sentence, but we're just gonna forget. What's that?
I said that was me doing my taxes today. Like I haven't.
Oh, I gotta do mine. Oh my god, I'm not looking forward to that.
I haven't slept I should say, and or a lot for the past week. And then like I was like, fuck, I gotta get my taxes done before I move or whatever. not even thinking like they're not due until mid-April. Like for whatever reason, my brain's been thinking they're due mid-March. So like I fucking rushed to get them done today. Do them, fucked up on them like after I submitted them, and then I'm like, oh fuck, they're still not due for another month. Like,
Is it actually cold in South Texas?
Did you go to the parade?
I swear I just saw like steam coming out of his mouth from his breath. Maybe not. It's just foggy in South Texas. I imagine if it gets cold down there, no one knows what the fuck to do. Like, no one has the right clothes. Although it does look cold. Everyone's fucking bundled up.
Now what gets South Texas is when they get snow.
Fifth Element.
Damn good movie.
So good. It's one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Lilu Dallas Multipass.
Multipass.
Multipass. Chican.
Big Bada Boom.
Inali Ichala Dadai Chicken Fucking Divine. Whatever the fuck it was she was saying.
Downtown Seattle's a fucking shithole too. Look at this. We already knew that. Man, if you live in like a major metropolitan center, I don't know how you're not like disgusted by the things going on around you on a daily basis. Especially when you like pay for like a penthouse apartment in Denver. Like they're like what, like $25,000, $3,000, $4,000 depending on which one it is, and you go down to the street level and it's this going on, you know? Like, why are you paying that much money? Just for the view? Just so you can feel like you're above the people? I don't know, dude. It's fucking weird.
I don't see the point in living in a major city these days. Like, there used to be somewhat of a point because you could make money, but it looks like all the jobs are leaving those places. So, like, who's going to live in those big cities now?
Well, that's just it. That was the point. Was you can't make the money in the country that you can in the city, and there's a lot more opportunities in the city than there's. So if you're like a mover and a shaker and a go-getter, like the city's the place to be. And if you're like a piece of shit degenerate who doesn't want to do anything but like heroin and live on the streets, the city's the place to be. The people in the middle, not so much. Especially now. How close are we to World War III kicking off? Scale of 1 to 10. Everyone's opinion.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'm going 3. Maybe.
I don't know. It just
How
depends on what
close are
happens.
we? Jesus, dude.
So, I don't know. I'd give it like a 9, but like I'm a little paranoid. And like the reason I give it a 9 is because of some of the shit going on in Russia and Putin's head and shit. I really think he thinks, fuck it, we ain't got nothing to lose. Like, from Putin's point of view, they have a dwindling population right now. So, if he wants to do any war, he has to do it now. Because if he waits 25 years, he'll just have less people to do it, and he'll be older. So, his issue is that whole plain between Moscow and, like, the end of Poland is very hard to defend. That's why the Nazis swept across in World War II, and that's why the Soviet Union wanted to keep everything even up to like Berlin and shit, right? So he thinks that the only way to secure his country is by having the narrowest possible field to defend, which is up there all the way at Poland. And I think long term, that's his goal. He wants to take Ukraine, he wants to take the Baltic states, he wants to take Poland and Moldova, of course. But like, does he pick a fight with NATO to get that? I don't know. Like, if they start a fight with him over Ukraine, he is going to invade Poland and he's going to invade the Baltic states.
I was going to say like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah, that's
Honestly,
where I'm not at.
Like, and it depends on what happens with China and Taiwan next. If China-Taiwan happens, especially quickly, then that answer is incorrect. Then it's more like 8 or 9. But yeah, I think it's probably about a 6, honestly.
My concern is more that, like, if we're fighting China, probably not going to go nuclear. If we're fighting Russia, it is 100% going to go nuclear.
Well, hasn't he been kind of boasting about nuclear or kind of intimidating with it?
Well, the thing is, Russia doesn't have the military to fight us toe-to-toe on even terms, so what do you think Putin's going to do backed into a corner?
Yeah.
All right, everybody listen. Everybody listen to your commander-in-chief.
There's a phenomenal negative psychological impact that COVID has had on the public psyche. And so you have an awful lot of people who are, notwithstanding the fact that things have gotten so much better for them economically, that they are thinking, but how do you get up in the morning feeling happy? Happy that everything's all right now.
So he's blaming the fact that people are unhappy with his presidency and the way that the economy's going on mental psychosis rather than like
Doing
his
a
own
shitty
fucking
job.
Well,
job that he's been doing.
How is the economy better? He's like, the economy's so much better. Who's it better for? The stock market?
No, it's not even better for the stock market.
Okay, well then, like, fuck him.
Like, I don't know on what metric you could possibly base we're doing better now than we were under Trump.
Well, unemployment.
I mean, okay, here's how you base it. Here's how you base it. You say the day Trump left office, then it is better because things were locked down because you know what I mean? Like, that's just what it was right then. If you say versus like the height of the Trump presidency, then there's no way you can say that.
So what happens at the midterms when they win back the Senate and the House at least? Let's say they don't make Trump speaker and impeach. They just win him back. Do you think we ever go to war with Russia now that it's on Biden's thing to do?
No.
Because I think that would be like, fuck NATO, we ain't doing shit, and then Putin and Europe are going to have a hell of a war. That's where I see this going.
I don't see us getting involved. Like, I don't see...
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're going to set it out.
To some extent, yes, we already are, and we will continue to be in that respect, which is limited, like PSYOP type shit,
Yeah.
But as far as boots on the ground, like sending in thousands of troops in this battalion or whatever, no, I don't see it.
Well, I've heard rumblings that some of our troops are doing some shit, but I don't know how true those are.
Well, I'm sure they're getting geared up for it and training for it. Just in case.
This was like, I heard people were being told to pack some bags and shit.
I mean, if that's the case, like, yeah, we're kind of fucked.
Yep.
Because Russia has the ability to do things here where we're sitting.
Yes.
Iran, Iraq, fucking Afghanistan. Maybe, I guess, if they sent over like a sleeper cell and they work for 20 years to infiltrate their way into a power plant, could they do something, or whatever. But yeah, like, they don't really have the ability that Russia does by any fucking means. And I'm not saying be afraid of Russia, but I'm saying, like,
I seriously
respect the snake and the poison that it has when you try to pick it up. Otherwise, you might get bit in the fucking hand.
I seriously think we're going to send some troops over there. It's going to piss people off. It's going to start rumblings here. They're going to lose the elections. Then they're going to bring those troops back. And then we're going to sit out World War III.
Daniel says tons of people are being deployed to Poland.
Yep.
And then maybe that's the line. Maybe he doesn't go into Poland. Maybe he sees that, okay, like, it's like the Rhineland, like, this far, no farther. We took this back as breathing room or whatever. Okay, we've got it. We've got access to the Black Sea or whatever now. That's what we wanted, really. I don't know that Putin has this, like, grand design to, like, rekindle fucking World War III, like, Hitler fucking status. with his name. You know, I don't know that.
Here's the issue, though. From where Putin's sitting, war is inevitable because of things that are on the board. Like, especially, basically, that Poland isn't his, and then the Ukraine is now being friendly with NATO and wanting to join NATO, and that was really like the straw that broke the camel's back, I think.
It's funny how we're exactly talking about it now. It's fine.
Sorry.
No,
I
I
don't
did.
know
I
this
I
subject.
participated myself. I don't care anymore. It's fine. I was trying to just be like, hey, let's talk about like cool stuff tonight, but there is too much going on in the fucking world right now, isn't there?
There's a lot.
It's hard to ignore.
One might say there's a plethora.
I don't know. I hope, for our sake, that World War III doesn't go nuclear and that we sit it out, but who fucking knows?
Dude, people in their 3D printed lowers are getting better and better, aren't they? It's one of the better ones I've seen. Usually they look like they're about to fucking break after you shoot them 10 times, you know?
I still think it's hilarious that now they want the AR to be like the upper and the lower. It's going to be serialized. Like, I don't know if they're really going to do that, but that's like what they keep murmuring about. Like, fuck
Does that mean that you have to like take your fucking AR-15s in and get your upper serialized?
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Does that mean you have contraband if you don't?
They're talking about having pistol slides be controlled too.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, honestly, the way they do it's kind of dumb.
it is.
Because, like, the way that they do it in other countries, it's usually the bolt and the barrel are the things that are serialized because they're the pressure-bearing surfaces that need to be, like, machined correctly and made out of the correct materials that you can't really fucking do in your garage very easily, you know?
It's difficult to make a barrel, especially a rifled one.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know how to make rifling. Like, could Honda it. I'm just
It's
like,
an
I'll just
interesting-
take the fucking file and I'll spin it when I...
So back in the 1700s, they had this like giant wooden spinning contraption with a metal tooth on it that you'd like run this thing back and forth, and it would run a rod in and out of the barrel, and you'd cut the grooves one at a time.
Yeah, that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to build that thing.
I figured Honda's just gonna take a long drill bit and go brrr.
Dremel go burr.
If you just find a drill bit that like fits tightly, right? And then you got to hammer it in, right? You got to hammer it all the way to the bottom of the barrel. And then you hook it up to your drill thing, and then you just turn it like a quarter turn back and a quarter turn forth a couple of times. And then slide it out.
Yeah, it should be fine.
It might work.
I mean, it's gonna be better than smoothbore probably. So
Here, share my screen real quick.
Guns and barbecue.
Yo,
How are you, man?
That's the
Oh,
machine that I'm talking about that cuts rifling.
where's that at?
That's in Williamsburg, Virginia.
No, I see it now. I'm sorry. Blind eyes suck at catching this stuff. So
But that wheel lets you spin the cutting thing as you're drawing it in and out.
Do you think we're headed for World War III?
I don't think so. I think mutually assured destruction is going to have everybody playing chicken shit at the end of the day.
I still think it's a little bit like World War II in that, like, they didn't use gas in World War II, but they used a shitload of gas in World War One. Like, they were too afraid to use it. We used nukes a couple times at the end of the last one. Maybe just everybody just leaves the nukes alone, but Putin's kind of a madman.
Well, the thing is, like, if everyone has nukes and you go to war, and everyone's like, no, we won't use nukes because we're afraid of what's going to happen to us if we use them against you. And then you start losing.
Yeah. Well,
You're gonna use them.
the thing is, using those hydrogen bombs though ends the whole planet. So it's like basically you'd have to have a lunatic like Putin, but maybe Putin is a lunatic. He's kind of acting that way.
One of the things I was going to say, I mean, when you look at what we dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and you look at what we have today, those were child's play compared to the nukes that we have today. 100 times greater some of these things are than
I think the biggest one's 1,000 times.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100%, so I didn't want to go to that extreme. But I think you're right.
How long does nuclear winter last for?
It's like 50, 60 years, if I remember right. Or is it 35 years? It's a while.
It's a few decades. But then again, it depends on how many bombs were dropped. There's a lot that's going to play into it.
Variables.
All right. The impacts of large-scale conflict may result in more radiation and localized disturbances around target areas. The general consensus is that an actual nuclear winter would last 1 to 4 years, regardless of the size of the conflict, as the amount of time it would need for the natural cycle to cleanse the air and let sunlight in. So 4 years. If you had 10 years worth of food in a bunker, you're good. So and that's what they're thinking. That's exactly what they're thinking.
I guarantee you that's probably not wrong, because like at least the Russian military and even the Russian people have bunkers left over from the Soviet Union because they actually cared, unlike us.
Well, they've run drills in Russia before. Have you ever had a drill in your fucking town of what to do in like a public drill?
I had a drill in my elementary school, but we were weird.
We had tornado drills.
We had the whole duck and cover thing from the 50s still.
We had the earthquake drills, so you got underneath your desk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the earthquake drill too. And then in that one, it was either under your desk or get under the doorway, like the door jamb has extra support. I feel like if Colorado got hit by a giant earthquake, we wouldn't know what to do. Like, none of the buildings here are set up for that kind of shit. Because it doesn't happen here. But then it's like, well, then how the fuck did these mountains get here? Like, there had to be some earthquakes at some point. You know what I mean?
I think there might have been some uplifting at some point.
I don't know. Not just a waiter.
So. I'm not a geologist or anything.
Andrew Hefker says, so we should all rewatch Blast from the Past? The fuck's Blast from the Past?
Blast from the Past is that movie with Brendan Fraser from...
and Alicia Silverstone.
Yep.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
Oh my god. Yes.
I love it. I honestly thought it was like 30 years or something, because that's what all the bunkers back in the 50s were built for. Maybe that's just what they thought then.
So nuclear winter's only 4 years, really?
Yeah.
Well, I think like the heaviest part of it, yeah. But again, I think that also would determine on how many bombs are dropped and stuff like that.
I would imagine your latitude would change how long it lasts too. Because like if you're at the equator, it's going to be warmer, right? No matter what. So maybe it doesn't last as long.
Well, it's my understanding that the radiation from the thermal nuclear weapons dissipates a lot quicker than the old school style that they used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because they basically they took basically a bullet of plutonium and shot it into a wad of uranium and like fused them together in that explosion, and it explodes. But that also sends out a fuck ton of really long lasting radiation across the blast radius. Versus when they're using hydrogen bombs, it's deuterium. So they take... I won't go into it. It's a cleaner fucking explosion, is the point.
So the gun type bomb, like you're talking about, is actually both pieces are uranium. Then the implosion type bomb, like they dropped on Nagasaki, is a plutonium core that has a implosion thing around it made of explosives. I always liked nukes because, like, they make really big explosions, and they're fascinating to look at. And then at the end of the day, like the first ones were literally, hey, let's make a cannon and shoot uranium at each other. Like, it's like, really? It took you that many years to figure that out? Seems like some hillbilly shit.
Daniel says the media is definitely pushing the world to war. The media is fucking complicit in every war since I've been alive.
I agree.
They pushed the American people into the war in Iraq and Afghanistan that's been going on for fucking 20 plus years now. Without remorse, being completely wrong about every presupposition, never going back and like owning anything that they did wrong, lying along the way, being like, oh yeah, I was in a helicopter getting shot at. Like, fuck every single member, every single one of them. They're worse than the police. Because the police can only affect the people who are directly around them that they have contact with, right? A corrupt piece of shit mainstream media personality who spits out nothing but lies and propaganda does far more damage.
The scariest thing of this to me is that it's against Russia instead of China.
Josh Chiller says there's a documentary set in Kansas about nuclear fallout.
Yeah. Jericho's such a good show.
It's too bad it fucking ended the way it did.
Yeah. Like, they really needed to make that a longer show.
The world just wasn't ready.
No, it is now, though. They should bring it back. Jericho, Season 3.
Brian now says it makes you think twice about what's being reported on this war for sure. And that's the thing, dude. Like, they lie about Antifa, they lie about fucking Black Lives Matter, they lie about George Floyd, they lie about Kyle Rittenhouse, they lie about everything, dude. They lie. And then they're like, oh, and then the war coverage is here. And everyone's like, oh, we got to tune into NBC to see what they're saying. It's like, dude, did you not learn anything? Apparently not. Media is the new Tokyo Rose.
Honestly, my thing with the media at this point is I don't trust them enough to the point where, like, I'm wondering why Putin thinks he needs to invade. And if it is just the things that I've seen, like, territory-wise that makes sense, or if it is, like, we're doing some shady shit in Ukraine.
I will say this. I've listened to some of what Putin said before any of this shit happened, like years ago or whatever.
Yeah.
And his criticism of the West and the media and the way things are done and, like, America's authoritarian, like, fucking nation-building bullshit that they do. Like, he's very, very poignant, honest, and direct, and seems like he knows what he's talking about and calls a fucking spade a spade.
Yep.
So maybe what he's doing doesn't make sense from our point of view because of the propaganda that we're constantly under, but from his point of view and from his people's point of view, it does. And again, I don't think he's going further than he needs to. I don't think he wants to risk open World War III.
From what I've looked at, it seems like Putin is actively trying to do what he thinks is best for his people from his point of view. Which at this point, rather than playing second banana to the U.S. for another century, he's trying to start another Russian empire.
Dude, SpaceX rockets when they land are so fucking cool. Can you see any of this shit from where you're at, Matt?
Yeah.
Can you like sit out on the beach and watch a fucking rocket take off?
I certainly could if I wanted to. Yeah, if you go all the way down there to Boca Chica Beach, yeah.
Boca Chica.
Yeah,
that'd be cool to watch.
Like, that's like 3 steps away from the Millennium Falcon. You need a couple more things on it still.
I like how it lands like a Buck Rogers rocket does.
Yeah.
Like, when they did that back in the day, I always thought that's a stupid thing, but, like, it makes a lot of sense now that you see it actually work. I just never thought they could actually do it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yep.
He's a good dude. I like Elon, I believe in you, sir. This guy, this is the billionaire that I don't believe in.
Did you
No.
see what Elon's old business partner from PayPal was saying on Glenn Beck?
No.
How PayPal is basically evil and like trying to like set up a social credit score already.
I mean, that's what they're trying to push everybody to. That way they can control behavior with like a Pavlovian response with the people. Like, hey, do more of this and you get more. Do more of this and you get less. You know, like, here's some positive and negative reinforcement for you. Social engineering, dude. And it's ultimate control in a way that they've never been able to do before in the history of mankind. They have information on people that people don't know about themselves. They have ways to organize and collate that information in ways that is useful to someone who wants to steer society in a certain direction and control people's thoughts and actions, especially. You know, because you can think what you want, but if you don't go out on the street and fucking do something about it, then they win. And that's what they've really gotten good at, is being like, oh, you're unhappy. We get it. Here, let's placate you just enough so that you continue to sit at home and do nothing. FNG Starman says, evening! U.S. government set example to world of using terrorism as an excuse to oppress. The world is just following their lead.
I agree.
And yeah, like, seriously, like anything America says to Putin about what he's doing that's like, fuck you, you're wrong about this, and you're a piece of shit, or whatever, is so incredibly hypocritical that only the left could do it and not fucking blush.
I love how like Tucker Carlson and shit and the Republicans seem to be almost on the side of Putin now. Like they aren't really. They're like saying, why are we starting a fucking nuclear war? Which is the right question, at least. Glad somebody's asking it.
God damn, dude. People are just like doing drugs on the street. This guy's got a pile of Red Bull he's coughing on and selling.
This does look a little bit like Blade Runner now.
This is totally Blade Runner.
I'm in the wheelchair. It is Blade Runner. Like a cigarette rolling down the block.
There's trash everywhere, like children sitting on the ground and like cold fucking wet ground.
Is this in America or is this Ukraine?
This is America. This is Seattle.
It's sad that you can't tell the difference.
I know.
Like you'd think the McDonald's would be a hint, but I guarantee you there's McDonald's in Ukraine.
There's more McDonald's than anything in the world. Just about. There's more McDonald's than some species of animals. Like I would be willing to bet there's more like McDonald's stores than there are blue whales.
Probably. You should look that up.
Brian Noss dropped in $2. Said Ukraine set up for Foreign Legion if you want an AK.
Interesting.
So everyone, let's fly to fucking Ukraine. That way we can get our 74s for free. How long do you got to stay to keep it?
I imagine if you go over there to get the rifle, like, just stay and buy some land at that point. Like, I'd be moving to Ukraine.
I mean, if you're fighting for it, yeah, I think you better get a piece of it. How many blue whales are there?
Okay, so there's about any they don't know exactly, but somewhere between 7 and 14,000 blue whales in the world. But there are almost 40,000 McDonald's in the world.
You're right.
I wonder how many of those blue whales have McDonald's trash inside of their belly.
All of them.
All of them. Honestly,
Probably right.
we've been talking forever about like taking over some country. Like we should just go to the Ukraine. They'll give us rifles. Like they seem cool.
So have you guys seen the FEMA on ready.gov, the whole FEMA thing for nuclear explosions and all the stuff they tell you to do for
No.
fallout and all that stuff? One of the things they say to do, here's I just want to change it. One of the things they tell you to do if there is a nuclear explosion, try to maintain a distance of 6 feet between yourself and people who are not a part of your household. If possible, wear a mask if you're sheltering with people who are not a part of your household.
Wow.
I think if the nukes go off, we have bigger shit to fight than COVID.
Yeah, I think so too.
What if, just
Fucking
by
real.
chance, the nukes took care of COVID?
Oh, it will.
Fucking irradiated,
Take care of
turned it into
everything.
some fucking super virus.
That's how the
It's not
zombies
like-
started. They nuked COVID, and then that's the T virus.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the Plutoxin 7 virus is what it really is. Like it's just fake. It's all fake.
This is another one. Also under nuclear explosion. If you are sick or injured, if you're experiencing a medical emergency, call 911 and let the operator know if you have or think you might have COVID-19. If you can put on a mask before help arrives.
Wow.
Many people may already feel fear and anxiety about coronavirus 2019.
Matt,
The threat
let's
of
just go to
nuclear-
Ukraine. Let's
The
do
threat
it.
of nuclear explosion can add additional stress. You think? You fucking think?
Let's
The
just
threat
go
of
to
nuclear
Ukraine now.
explosion could add some additional stress. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my God. Fuck these people. Fuck these people.
Seriously,
These people all just need to fucking disappear. Somebody needs to nuke Washington. Like right now. Just fucking get rid of all these fucking people. Please.
No,
This
let's
is
all
fucking
seriously
ridiculous.
go to the Ukraine. Like I bet they will give us land if we fight. That's a better deal than we've ever gotten. in
Fucking
America.
hell.
So here's a map of the United States and potential nuclear targets. What do we have? One of these black spots is
Let's see. How fucked are each of us? Blow that up. Well, I can't. All right, let's see
that's as
this.
big as I can get it. Hang on, let me get rid of this.
I know we've had this discussion before, but
The black dots are target in a 2,000 warhead scenario. The purple triangles are in a 500 warhead scenario. And the stars are state capitals, and then the squares are cities.
I can't see me down there. What is that shit?
Hold on, let me hide.
Well, I'd be
Oh, yeah,
fucked
you're
right there in the center.
Yeah, you're fucked. So
I'm
the triangles are the ones that would get hit first. The black dots are the ones that would get hit second, basically. And then the major cities would be if they're going after like population centers.
Well, Ray, you got a chance to get out then because you're secondary mostly.
There's
no,
one.
that purple triangle right there is right on Tulsa.
One, but like you could maybe get out.
Maybe.
Like
Yeah.
me and Hunter are fucked.
Matt's
Apparently,
got 4 triangles. I've got 1, 2. I can't even. There's triangles making triangles. That's how many triangles there are.
I hate to tell Washington this or Russia this, but Tulsa's protected by an Indian curse. So good luck with your nuke.
Say I'm totally screwed. I'm about 40 minutes south of Erie, and it looks like Erie's got a triangle right on it, and then Pittsburgh and Cleveland are just smothered with triangles.
Well,
I
it looks
got
like
news.
Chicago is fucked. Like New York and the whole East Coast up here is pretty much fucked.
Rhode Island.
Florida is fucked. California population centers are fucked.
Well, if I got hit
Montana's
over
like-
here,
Fucked if like secondary weapons happen.
we have a nuclear plant in Granbury.
I'm gonna just throw it out there. The safest place to be right now, Idaho.
Yeah,
Because
so
unless you're in
Idaho-
one specific place in Idaho, you're pretty good.
Boise's fucked.
Yeah, Boise's fucked, but if you're anywhere else in Idaho, you're
Also,
probably
like,
fine.
Coeur d'Alene up there is fucked too, and that's their 2 population centers. The rest of Idaho doesn't have that many people.
Wyoming looks pretty good for the most part. I mean, if you're in like the north, like western part of Wyoming, you're good.
We should also add that pretty much anywhere in the U.S., if a bomb has been dropped, don't go to the north and east of it. So, like,
Anybody else?
let's say you're in Dallas or Fort Worth there, don't go to Tulsa. Like, you should go south or some shit, you know? Because the winds blow the radiation that direction.
I thought Nevada would have got hit a lot harder than it is. Because don't they have all like the nuke sites there and shit?
No, the nukes are all in the Dakotas up there where all those fucking black dots are.
Yeah, and Wyoming. Fucking right
Anybody
here.
else notice that there's no Alaska or Hawaii on this map?
Well, Alaska would be hit all over because of the nukes and air bases, and then Hawaii would be gone.
Yeah, they just don't want to scare people. That's why.
Yeah.
Like, by the way, you're only renting, just so you know. I think you own the place, but looks like Western Kansas is pretty good too. Like the whole western side of the state has nothing in it.
Jericho was there for a reason.
Yeah.
Duke will be okay. Oh no, wait, Duke will definitely be fucked. Here's Duke's triangle.
I thought Southern Oklahoma would always be a good place to be.
Where's Jolly live? Here's Jolly's triangle right there. Where's Night Strike? Oh yeah, boom. There's Night Strike's triangle.
Where?
Right here-ish. Pick one.
Oh, I see your cursor now. Sorry.
Yeah, North Carolina. Where does G-Webs live? Right here?
Close to the border in Arizona.
Oh, that little purple triangle right near the border. That's where
Yeah.
the G-Webs lives. That's Tucson.
Calhoun is asking for you if you could put that map in Discord.
Yeah.
You know, if you go up to the Upper Peninsula in Michigan, there looks pretty good too.
Discord. There you go, boys. Yeah. I don't know. Where would you go?
I have family that lives in that empty corner of Oklahoma there, the southeastern corner. I might go there.
Let's all move to Idaho. We'll grow potatoes and like make YouTube videos. It'll be great.
I'll just go to Yellowstone. That way, when it goes up, I can just be vaporized.
As close as I am to Yellowstone, you know, it's only one state and I don't know, like probably 8-10 hours away, something like that. I've never been there.
Yeah. Take the road trip and at least, have a good view.
Well, we drove all the way to fucking Glacier National Park in Montana. We had to drive by Yellowstone to get there. And I'm like, why don't we just go to Yellowstone? No one listens to me. MSB, excuse me, 9021 says, I can't believe there's so much in Bama to be hit. Between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, there goes my ass. Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Cleveland, Ohio.
Hey, as long as they leave Greenbow, Alabama alone, everything's fine.
Is that right on the coast?
What, Greenbow? It's not even a real city. It's just made up by Forrest Gump.
Alabama, sir. Are you guys related? We have no relation. I love that movie.
There's a place called Greensboro, Alabama. Go back to Greensboro, Alabama. I didn't know it wasn't a real town. It's funny. I assumed since it was Forrest Gump, it was real. Did Jenny give fucking Forrest AIDS?
No.
That's what I think.
No, did you know that if you actually read the book, apparently it wasn't AIDS. She had hepatitis. Is what she had. It's just because it wasn't explained in the movie, and that was the big thing when that movie came out. That was what everybody was concerned about. Everybody just assumed it was AIDS, but it actually wasn't. She had hepatitis. She had like Hep C or something.
I reckon that would make a little bit more sense, being as when you figure she would have been doing drugs, it would have been the 70s, so that would have been a little early for AIDS.
Yeah.
Did she give him hepatitis then?
I don't think so. I think that was the point. Because he was the one left to raise the kid.
Somehow he was impervious.
Well, you see, the gift God gives the simple people is that they're immune to the STDs.
So wait, so she came home to Forrest because she was on drugs, right? And then slept with him before she left, but didn't have hepatitis yet. So she got pregnant with the kid, but no hepatitis. Had the kid, kept doing drugs or something,
Yes.
ended up with hepatitis,
Then straightened her life out.
then straightened her life out, became
Then
a
found
waiter.
Forrest. Yes.
Which I
Well, I mean, she didn't straighten her life out. She was a fucking server. So I mean,
so when did,
Jesus Christ.
how old is Sesame Street? Because in the movie, little Forrest is sitting there watching Sesame Street.
Sesame Street's been on since the 60s.
Super old, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bill Cosby used to be on Sesame Street, didn't he? And then, what was his name? Morgan Freeman started on Sesame Street.
Morgan Freeman was played Spider-Man on Electric Company.
Did Bill Cosby roofie fucking one of the Sesame Street characters?
Probably.
Oh yeah, he
Probably.
fucked Oscar the Grouch like a motherfucker. Just rode his ass.
Wrote
You
it.
roofied Big Bird? Why would you roofie Big Bird? Like,
I
you're
still
gonna
feel like
rape
that's
it.
He fucked Mr. Snuffleupagus.
There you go.
No, he went after Bert and Ernie.
Gave Elmo a pudding pop.
Everyone knows that Bert would have liked it, so.
I want to find some like crazy shit on. Someone start dropping those coordinates. That's fun. I like doing that. Find some coordinates for me. I'll go to them. I want to see some fucking.
119.7119.5.5779.
I want to see some space bases or something. Space Force.
Oh, you know that like Eye of the Sahara thing that you think is Atlantis or somebody does? I don't remember who. That thing is made of igneous rock. You know that? Igneous rock is made in volcanoes. So, like, could that just be a giant caldera from some sort of fucking magma bubble?
Probably.
No, it's Atlantis.
What are you talking
Started
about?
beneath the sea, but then
It looks like
appeared
some,
above fucking the sea and miles inland in the mountains.
it just looks like a blast crater of some sort, you know?
Well, okay, here's this one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. You never seen anything like it.
The
Oh,
one right over there.
what's that? It's kind of like it. That's weird. Oh, come down here. There was another one too.
That's nothing
Oh,
like
hey,
it.
did you know that there's like cities in Egypt that have been blown up? Including
There is no such thing as concentric rings in nature.
the capital city of ancient Egypt was called Memphis, and it was blown up. I never knew that.
It's proof of evolution, Matt.
Oh,
Concentric rings are proof of evolution.
I was watching a thing about the Sahara
It is
Desert,
known.
and they were blaming the fact that the Sahara Desert is a desert on us bringing cows there. I'm like, or maybe it's something else.
Yeah, it was the fucking cows did it.
Cows did it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I say it's not the fact that the Sahara Desert
It's
actually has
man-made.
going
It's
through
man-made
cycles
climate change.
over millions of years.
It's man-made climate change.
There's some part of Africa. I remember learning about this, and I couldn't tell you where it is. Where like it's like a highland plateau area that gets year-round rain. That the animals that live there don't have to migrate because they can live there year-round. So the lions that live there, there's like this big pride of lions. Like there's extra fucking numbers of them, and they grow extra big compared to the lions in the rest of the continent.
I've heard of this. It's not a plateau. It's an island, I think.
No,
The only thing on the island for them to eat is Cape buffalo, so they got bigger.
No, that must be a different thing then,
Okay.
because it was all the animals and it was inland somewhere.
Huh.
They were talking about how like the gazelle here are here year round. They don't fucking migrate. The buffalo over here year round. They don't migrate because they don't need to because there's always grass. But in other parts of Africa, they have to. And the fucking
Well,
I don't
like
remember where it's at.
In the Congo, they've got the bonobo ape, which is terrifying.
Is that the one that like defends that fucking temple thing?
Yep.
The white ones that like to eat people's heads.
Yeah, they're friggin' insane.
And you have to kill them with giant blue lasers?
Yeah, you got to get those Sentry machine gun turret things. We're talking about Congo, the movie.
My favorite part of that movie is that Bruce Campbell's in it.
It's crazy that Congo's like this giant-ass motherfucking country. And look how much coast they have. This is all of Congo's coast. And they don't even have anything there. Well, I guess they do. It's this shitty brown city, but still.
That's racist.
It's brown as in look at it. It's...
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
You want to see Atlantis? Here's Atlantis, right here. You can almost see the shape of the circle. Look.
I don't see shit.
You see the circle?
Those are not concentric rings.
You see the circle?
There's a mildly circle-ish shape with a fucking big dent in it.
Shape.
One of the big
rings.
stone cities in Mexico that the Aztecs said was the city of the gods. I don't remember which one now, but it has concentric rings and canals, much like Plato's description.
You talking about Machu Picchu?
No, it's like Teotihuacan or Teotihuacan.
Oh.
One of those. I don't remember.
I wonder if they've done any like archaeology on this island to see if there's any fucking ancient anything on it.
They should. I guarantee you there'd be something because like somebody had to like swim there, right?
Or this little island would probably be even better. Maybe.
Didn't the Incas call Machu Picchu the city of the gods as well?
Basically, all of those South American and Central American tribes said that the major stone shit that they were living in was built by the gods.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I kind of believe. I think they just found it and moved in. Which supports the whole, like, prior civilization theory, the Graham Hancock stuff.
Hey, Honda, Lead on Steel dropped in some coordinates for you.
Oh, boy. All right. Oh, I didn't copy the whole thing. That's the problem.
Have y'all guys heard about this whole fucking fake Proud Boys account bullshit about sending people to Ukraine? Y'all heard about this shit?
No.
So apparently there was some fucking I don't know, hoax Proud Boys account that was created. It's from Australia, where and it was like some account that had like 10 followers or some shit. I don't know, and it started posting a bunch of stuff about how it was sending people and mass amounts of Proud Boy followers to Ukraine to help Putin take over Ukraine. And it was posting all this shit and talking about, oh, make sure you save your receipts you'll be reimbursed for travel. And like at one point, the person who runs the Twitter account was like, I just got back with my meeting from Putin and things are looking very good. And it was this whole fucking troll to get people to fucking believe that people like right-wing people like the Proud Boys were all pro-Putin and helping Putin take over Ukraine, right? It was this fake bullshit. It was totally fucking fake. And yet New York Times and ABC News ran with the fucking story.
So
I think these are elephants.
My thing is, I don't want a nuclear war with Putin. I think Putin sucks and like the Ukrainians should fight to the death. But I don't want a nuclear war with Putin.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just funny. Major news outlets were running with a fucking bullshit story out of Australia simply because it fit their narrative that right-wing motherfuckers are fucking white supremacists who support Putin.
I just think it's hilarious that they blame everything on racism and white people whenever they have a fucking chance to.
Yeah.
Well, it suits their narrative, and they always have to like relate everything back to that so that the fucking mindless idiots who follow what they say can like somehow logically make sense of what's going on. Right?
It's become like blatantly obvious that we live in a propaganda state now. And even people that I thought would never wake up to that are going, man, I think that they're trying to start a war in Ukraine for no reason. Or some shit.
If enough people move up from Mexico to America, can we just like move from America down to a part of Mexico?
Yeah, the Mormons did.
Like, no one lives here anymore. Might as well take over part of Cholula or whatever.
Baja, California is really beautiful. That's like.
Can we just take back Panama? I mean, we built the canal anyways.
Honestly, if you wanted a moneymaker, invade Panama, steal the canal, and fucking just hold that shit forever, you'd make a fortune. You'd also need like a pretty good sized army though.
Where's the? This is the canal. Yeah, it is. No, that's a toll road. Where's the fucking canal? I always thought it was this thing, just like right in the middle and like the thinnest part. Wouldn't that make sense?
It's not quite at the thinnest part, if I remember right.
Well, you can't see it from space. I know that.
Why are we looking at it sideways?
Also, here's a weird fun fact that just popped in my head since space was mentioned. We were talking about concentric circles earlier. You know, there's a hexagon on, I believe it's Saturn's North Pole.
Sure.
Yep.
How would you know that?
I watch a lot of spaceship.
Yeah, but like Saturn's a gas body, so how's there a hexagon?
It's something with the weather system up there.
Oh, okay.
There you
It's
go.
a naturally occurring. It's pretty cool, actually.
Well, is that proof that there's like a creative force or some shit? Look at that shit. Look. I mean, it looks like some DMT painting or something.
That's fucking cool.
Also, when you guys were talking about different liquid bodies, things like that, Saturn's moons have liquid methane on them. Well, a couple of them at least. And scientists actually believe if we're going to find life in our universe, that would be one of the best places to look would be, I think, Io, because of the liquid methane.
They found a cloud of liquid ethanol. So, like, alcohol that is in beer, you know, like regular alcohol.
Yep.
That was so big that, like, if they harvested it, it would be enough alcohol for every human for the rest of their lives for, like, 1 billion years or something.
So I found the Panama Canal.
I like how easily Honda was distracted from that, too. He's like, hexagon on Saturn, let's just go check that out, forget the canal.
Well, whatever, man. If that's what we're talking about, I might as well pull it up.
It sounded cool. I wanted to see it. Thank you.
Check this out. This is the Panama Canal. So it's right next to Panama City. So basically, you come in from the north, right here, and you come down here, and here's where they'll because this water is higher than this water.
Yeah.
So they have to like lower the floodgates and shit and let you through. And this is I think this is the out and this is the in. And then you come in and you got to make your way through all this. And then you get over here to the other side of the canal and you come out on the south side and you go through they got to flood it in the canal and the locks. And then you come out on the south side and now you're in the Pacific Ocean, basically. Right next to Panama City. So that's the canal system.
Panama
Unless
City.
there's a woman captain.
Yeah, and then you're fucked. So.
Well, I mean, she would get the barge stuck in between, right?
It happened twice. Just saying, twice. All right, let's look at this. Things people accidentally found in their house.
Which, by the way, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, this is cool.
Why?
So you can play fucking Monopoly in the living room.
Yeah, but why would you cover that up, I guess is what I was thinking.
Because you got tired of playing Monopoly.
Yeah. Like, you went through all the effort for it, I guess is my idea.
They just made the floor into a giant Monopoly board?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is that a vagina? What is that?
That's layers of paint on the wall.
Oh, it's paint vagina.
It looks like a giant.
There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, like 14, 15 layers of paint.
Is that how you can tell how old she is?
Giant on the wall.
That
Actually, the tightness and the deteriorated nature of the lips. How you tell?
Was that a bee's nest?
Yeah, they do that. Fuckers.
Ugh, looks gross.
Insects are gross.
Never losing that key. Daniel dropped in $2 and said, "Have y'all decided where you're staying at in Tulsa?" No. Are you for sure going, Matt? Still?
I don't know. Given my situation, I'm not sure.
The nuclear war.
Yeah, the nuclear war. That's what's making my decision for me. The nuclear war. That's what's doing it.
Magic brain calculator. The fuck?
It's like an abacus, it looks like.
Yeah. Crazy. They found a paper from World War
One, it looks like.
What year is it? Can't see.
Well, one would be what, 18?
It doesn't say World War
17.
II ends.
Yeah,
It's gonna
this is
say-
World War ends. That's true.
And it's going to be dated 2023. And you're like, oh my god.
Yeah. From the future.
New era dental floss. Daniel says he'll sponsor your trip. Oh, I remember these things? The Wendy's fucking beverage coasters.
Oh shit! Yeah. Been a
And
long
you can
time.
stack them all up and make a burger on the table. Oh, that'd be cool to move into a house and you find some shit like that. Like, oh, we're breaking into this fucking safe. I don't care what it takes.
There's one video I saw where someone bought a old house and was tearing down walls inside of it to remodel, and they found a wall full of money.
Be
Yeah.
awesome.
I had a friend that I used to know from hanging out at a gun shop that was a contractor, and he came in one day with $75,000 in silver certificates that he found.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
And I'm guessing that those are worth more than $1 a piece, being silver certificates.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then depending on the ink that they were printed with, because there's red ones, there's blue ones, I think there's green ones also.
These were all
And-
from like the 20s.
SimCity on floppies. I had this shit. I literally had this.
I had Sim Farm on a floppy.
Sim Farm didn't even exist yet. That's an old ass can of Coke. I've never even seen a can of Coke like that.
Mm-hmm.
Sim Farm was the first video game I ever enjoyed besides Oregon Trail.
Are you old enough to remember? I mean, I am. I think probably you are, Honda. Pop top cans where you actually ripped the piece off. It actually came off.
I remember those.
Vaguely remember them, yes.
Yeah. We
Which
still
is
had
what-
we still had those in the mid '80s. It wasn't
Which
until
is what
around the
this
mid
was.
'80s.
That's what this is, yeah.
Yeah. It was around the mid '80s that they went to that one that stayed on the can.
When I was cleaning out my grandfather's garage of like some gun stuff, I found his old workbench, and there was a can of Budweiser still sitting on it that had whatever was left of it like congealed in the bottom, and it was from like the 80s, I would say. It was ancient.
See, again, how cool would this be? You're like, whoa, we moved the carpet over and there's a trap door. Holy fuck, there's an entire, like, labyrinth below the house that we didn't know. It's, like, full of trash and weird shit that we got to clear out, but, man, we could clean this up and have another bedroom. We got a bomb shelter.
They didn't know it had a basement.
I got a man cave. That's fucking
Oh.
awesome.
It's only full of demons, but sure.
Well, yeah, it was sealed for a reason, man. Like, there was a hand in there.
Where?
Like, there's a cut off hand down in the basement. Everybody knows.
Oh. Is it the one that, like, brings you things and taps you on the shoulder when someone's at the door, like a
No,
butler?
it's the evil one that grows another ash.
Oh, that one.
I used to have those cups.
I bet those are worth money. Old
those are
Mickey,
Those
old
are the
Mickey Mouse
McDonald's
shit.
ones, I think.
All that stuff's always worth money for some reason because people will buy it.
Nostalgia sells.
Here's someone's porn stash. Their porn corner from 1929. Elvis Presley shampoo. Oh, remember when a ticket was $3.25?
Oh,
That was nice.
God. A long ass fucking time ago.
That's when movies were actually, you go see a movie for $5. You get a movie and a soda.
A ticket was still like $7 or something like that when I worked at a movie theater. Cheaper than now.
Dude, I remember if you had a $20 bill, it was like a $100 bill now.
I don't remember that.
And a $100 bill was like a $1,000 bill or something. You never even seen one. Oh, someone's silver stash, gold ring and stuff. That's a nice find. Although that's probably like all these people are dead and their ghosts are going to haunt you now.
I'd take the coins and leave the jewelry.
Random chain inside of the wall.
The spoon handle.
Spoon handle.
I think
Painted and everything.
I think that is we were really poor and we didn't have no money to buy another handle, so Daddy improvised.
Redneck ingenuity.
Exactly.
It's the 5th of October, 1997. If the Spice Girls are still popular next time this room is decorated, I'll eat my something.
Anus.
Starts with an O. I don't know.
Penis.
Onus. My own ass. It's funny how 1988's like that long ago. Like, oh. I don't know.
This was before I was born.
I remember 1988. It wasn't that long ago.
I barely remember it.
Wow. Money laundering?
Literally.
I wasn't born until 89. I can't remember it.
I was 90.
1981.
I was 85.
Oh, that's fucking cool. Like there's a doorway to somewhere in your house that you didn't know existed?
Would you open said door, Honda?
Hell yes, I would.
I would too.
What if there's ghosts inside?
That's like saying like, oh, you bought a house, right? And like you like grabbed a book off the bookshelf that came with the house and a secret door opened.
Yeah.
You're just gonna like close it and be like, nope, nope, nope.
Hey, I've seen Young Frankenstein. There's no good that comes from doing that.
I've seen that one.
Seems like kind of a waste, huh?
Mm-hmm. I've seen one where they ripped up the carpet and it was a Monopoly board underneath it.
Oh, that was the first one that we looked at, actually.
Oh, I stepped away for a minute.
You're good. Fucking weird old, like, sacrificial knife or some shit. What is that?
That's a, I forget what the name of it's called, but it's for food prep.
No, that's how they formed circumcisions back in the day.
Yeah. They just put it right here and go, shink! NSYNC, Britney Spears. Oh, that's the end. All right. Well, we've been going 2 hours. I think it's a good place to end it there. Look, you can see the First Lady's nipples. Look, right there. See him?
Turkey.
I bet they're nice. Anyway, I hope you guys have a good night. We'll be back tomorrow night for the Guns and Geeks podcast, where God knows what we're going to be talking about. Probably more doom and gloom.
Yes.
Penis.
But until then, I bid thee adieu, and I hope you guys have a good night. Peace out.